What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another video. And I was sitting around and I was thinking, and I wanted to talk about how when people are talking about superhero movies and reviewing movies in general, they confuse having fun with watching a movie with the movie being good. And we as a fandom, as a community, as a people that enjoy the art of film need to understand fun does not equal good, okay? And so a lot of people online use this as an excuse to say, oh, if you don't like this, you just don't like fun. And so an example of this is people who, I wouldn't say defend, but bring up this point when they're talking about the Marvels and She-Hulk. And those two are the most, I want to say, divisive MCU properties, but it is a lot of people who do not like these properties. And so people's main argument to these points is, what do you have against fun? Like, it was fun and enjoyable. Why do you hate fun? This is like a comic book movie. This is fun to me, so it's automatically good.
I just finished the Marvels, and genuine question. What do you people have against fun? Against being a lil silly? Against women? Against creativity? Against whimsy? Jesus, people are so damn miserable.
Which is not the case. When people say that they don't like these properties, it is not because they hate fun or they want everything to be dark and gritty, because we obviously know how that goes with if everything's trying to be dark and gritty, it ends up being garbage, like the DCEU, right? But our issues with these properties, well, me in general, I'm speaking for me, right, is they're either poorly written or the characters that they're trying to write about aren't enjoyable to watch. For example, the first Captain Marvel, when that came out, the big issue I had with the movie was Carol Danvers was like a stick of cardboard, basically. She had no personality, and I didn't really care. Especially when you had all these characters in the MCU who were, yes, they were all trying to be like Tony Stark with cracking quips and stuff like that, and it became unbearable. But they each had a personality, you know what I mean? They each had a flavor that they brought to the team. And so it's kind of like, how would I put this? It's kind of like if you had a basket full of candy and then right in the middle of it was tofu. And it's like, tofu on its own is okay, but like comparing it to the other pieces of candy, it sticks out like a sore thumb, if that makes sense. And so they in the Marvels, they changed it up where she has a personality, she cracks jokes, she's fun, she's quirky. But this movie that she's in is absolute garbage, where there's even technical issues with the movie that makes it enjoyable to watch. And that's what people have an issue with, like the story not making sense, the villain being god-awful, scenes just ending and going to another scene without any transition at all. It's like, bro, like, I'm watching this movie, I'm like, what is going on here? I'm tripping, you know what I mean? Same thing with Thor: Love and Thunder. That movie is garbage, not because it isn't fun, it's because it goes overboard with some of the ideas, and it under delivers on the points we really want to see, like Christian Bale's gore, or the God Butcher villain in general. Like, you have Christian Bale playing your villain and you give him minimal screen time. You cut out like scenes from him to put, you know, screaming goats every 5 minutes. It's like, what are we doing here? A good example of a movie that is fun, but I also was a good movie, you can say it's Thor Ragnarok, where it's like, okay, this movie, I had fun watching it, it involves the character, and it is enjoyable to watch on all ends. Or you could say Spider-Man No Way Home, where it's like, as a Spider-Man fan, you're smiling ear to ear the entire movie. You're like, okay, this is gas. And also, it's a very well thought out movie, and it's pretty good, you know what I mean? It's some issues with the movie, but hey, even with, people have issues with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, because it undersells the main plot of the movie, which is, if it's called Multiverse of Madness, people are expecting you to go to different multiverses. Like, that's my issue with it, is you say multiverse, it should have been just Curses of Darkhold. That would make a lot more sense with the themes of the story and everything about it. It removes the expectation of what we want in a movie based on the things that they give us. If you just change the title, it changes all of that. If it's Doctor Strange and the Curses of the Darkhold and you keep it the exact same, most of people's gripes with the movie would be different, because they're not expecting a cameo fest, but they're expecting the multiverse, if that makes sense. Especially a thing that's been hinted at these couple movies, you know what I mean? Another issue with it is issues with the writing and stuff like that. But people will look at the fight scene with the evil Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange will be like, oh man, this is fun. That automatically means the movie is good. Or like the new movie that came out called Beekeeper with Jason Statham. People say that movie is fun, but people also say, oh, this movie is not good. This movie is one of the early 2000s action movies where the plot is garbage, but the kills are so over dramatic that you can't help but smile, you know? We need to find better ways to critique films other than saying, we need to remove our, not feelings away from it, because movies make you feel something, but like, try to take an outside approach looking at, okay, what are the flaws of these things? And I'm not saying, oh, the people who are going, like, you have to go to this movie with like, okay, I can't have fun, I have to look at it face value. You can enjoy a movie, but understand why people do not like this movie, if that makes sense. And I'm definitely not saying, I'm definitely like one of those people where this also goes to video games too, where like a video game can be fun, but there's also issues with the game, you know what I mean? But there'd be people like that like let's say Dark Souls, and it's like, oh, if the game is a difficult where you're pulling your hair out, it's not really a real game, and you're not really, it's like, bro, I'm not doing all that. That is the other end of the spectrum we'll get into later. But those are my thoughts on that. Let me know down below what y'all think, and can you separate having fun at a movie with the movie being good? And I'll be in the comments. Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and I'm out of here.